Hi everybody, JT here, back with another video. This video, I think I should have made this video like from the beginning when I started out, so I can explain it how CNC access machine work, or when you hear 2 axis, 3 axis, 2.5, 4 axis, or 5 axis. Or 5 axis simultaneously. Sometimes I call full 5 axis. Or sometimes you hear the term 3 plus 2, what it means, right? So in this video, I would try to explain it to you. So when you started out in a CNC world, you understand what the 3 axis, what the 4 axis, what is the 5 axis machine work, because it took me a while to understand completely, because back then I start out with like manual 3 axis machine. Well, I would say 2.5, not even 3, and then I moved to 3, and then I moved to 5 axis lately. So but it took me like many years to understand, because back then I did not have any work, or well, I did not have any machine that 4 axis or 5 axis machine to work on. So all I knew was just whatever I did back then, like 2.5 and 3 axis, like mostly. So today video I will explain it, how it works, what the axis is, and then you hopefully the new people coming into a CNC world can understand, can know it better than me back then, because it took me a while. Well, so let's get into this video. First one, I think is okay. So from the started out, I did was the like a manual machine, not manual, but it's a CNC, but it only move 2 axes at the same time. So it basically X, Y move. The Z, I have to come down to that position or spot, and then I move the Z down and I lock it in manually, and then the X, Y will move. So that's when you see that machine, I call it 2.5, because the Z doesn't move up and down automatically. Therefore, I think they call it 2.5, because you lock the Z down manual and then XY move. So that's 2.5, right? And then of course next step will be 3 axis. 3 axis machine is like the Z move up and down automatically. You don't have to do anything, like this, right? Let's render it. Right, so that 3 axis, because you can do all those stuff, and most of you probably know this already, but let's just have the new people come into CNC with the 3 axis, especially like this servicing. That's you can do on 3 axis. Next one will be 4 axis. Okay, 4 axis. You can do 4 axis simultaneously, or 3 plus 1, because let's say for this part here, let's say if you have a rotary table, right, you can index this face first, make the pocket, then index to here, and then work all around this with with the same setup. Therefore you don't have to take the part out every time you do on the 3 axis, because if you have a rotary table, the 4 axis rotary table, you can do this part with all 4 sides here in one setup. So that what it called 4 axis, and sometimes some part you can do like 4 axis simultaneously. For this part, let's say for this part I call it 3 plus 1 because you index to that location, you machine it, then you move to the next, right? You index to the next angle, or when I think they set up at a C, right? So if it's C0 you do this, C90 you do this, C180 you do this, and then C270 you do this. So that's what I call it 4 plus 1. I mean 3 plus 1, sorry, 3 plus 1. Right, but let's say I think I have a raw part in here. Let's say if you machine the slot here, right? So if you machine this slot here, if it just, like, I think this one just straight down. Let me see. I don't have, okay, I don't have it, but anyway, so if just a straight slot down, yes, you can just, index to there and then make it. Okay. Oh, I think this one right here is good. For, let's see. You see this? It had a different angle, so this one, the word not like straight down, but with this one you have to use full 4 axis simultaneously, so it go in here and it could cut this. So this is a good explanation for the 4 axis simultaneously. I just call full 4 easy because the word there, there's, sometimes I have a hard time to say it, right? So that what it called 4 axis, 3 plus 1 or full 4. Okay, the next one will be 5 axis. So the 5 axis X, Y, Z move, right? And then A and C for the machine, whatever your machine setup is, sometimes A and C, sometimes A and B, something like that. But whatever it is like 5 axis move at the same time. For this part right here, let's render it so you can see. Right, because the two pass it full 5 axis or 5 axis simultaneously, so therefore it will be moving all at one, right? You sometimes like this you don't see it, but in the machine it really move 5 axis at the same time, right? Okay. Or sometimes people call the machine 3 plus 2 because that machine is full 5 axis machine, but you can index at the same, like I did, like I talked earlier. You index to this, you make this, and then you go here, and then you make this on the 5 axis machine. But I think technically this one is just 3 plus 1 because you index there and then you machine it. But you can do this part on the 4 axis machine with the rotary table, 4 axis rotary table, or the 5 axis machine. You can do this one too. I have the 2 pass here. Then let's turn this one. So this 2 pass, it just make this radius right here, right? Because if you don't work on the layer, you don't have a 2, how can you make that radius, right? So with this one, it basically, this work can be done on the 4 axis rotary table, or it can be done on the 5 axis when you lock one axis at the angle, and then all the 3 axes will be moved continuously. So let's render it so you can see. So it locked the two at an angle, right? Well, not the two, but the rolley table, the table lock it at the angle, and then it just move around it, so you can make that radius. So with this part, you can do on the, prefer on the 5-axis, but you can do on the 4-axis machine too. See? Let's render with the machine sim on so you can see it a little bit more clearly, hopefully. Right? So it like that. So it lock that table at the angle, and then the two would just, straight down, and then just the z-axis will move around and make that radius. All right. So I think you get the idea now. 2.5, 3-axis, 4-axis, and 5-axis, and the term 3 plus 1 or 3 plus 2, it referring to 4-axis and 5-axis machine. So hopefully you understand and you know this, when you started out, therefore it's easy when you make the program or when you enter into the CNC world, you understand what it means, what it does. Not like me, it took me like 4 or 5 years to understand or to know what is the 4-axis is, what the 5-axis, and then what the full 5, and then what is 3 plus 2 means. So it took me a while. It just because back then we we didn't have the machine capable machine of doing 4-axis or 5-axis. So and I didn't understand completely, even though I had the idea what it does, but to understand completely, it's it I wasn't, I didn't understand completely back then. But hope now after you watch my video here, you understand what it is and what it does. So make sure you subscribe to my channel if you have not, and turn on a notification for future video. I'll see you guys next time. All right, goodbye now.